19 the other day, when you go back and look at that play, what could you have done better in that sequence, and how big of a deflation was that for you guys, given the swing?
That was a situation where we were in cover 9. I was the down safety, opposite of the passing strength, and it was a single high defense. It just was a play where that's an effort play. Obviously, 3rd and 19. It's only so many plays that offense will run. Typically screens, run the ball. Obviously, to kind of just get from back there, and those type of plays typically don't happen specifically against this defense, man. But it happened. It's one of those worst case scenario kind of thing, and it was an effort play. Guys going under blocks, guys not taking an opportunity to shoot when you got a chance, and no finger point. It was a collective effort that we just didn't accomplish to be able to get the ball. Shouts out to DAC for getting them down, man. And we was able to kind of almost get a field goal out of the drive. But it just was an effort play on our end, and all 11 guys out there, man. You just can't let that happen on 3rd and 19. We was in single high, which means that we had more guys closer to the ball, and we just didn't get the job done. So it's nothing that he did that made it special. It was really what we gave it to him, and obviously he's a good player, but it was really uncharacteristic by us on defense.
You were saying it was really difficult to go back and look at all the big explosive plays you guys gave up in that game, and then on the flip side made none, really.
Right.
How did that sit with you, knowing that what this defense has been built up to this point?
Yeah. That's tough. I think that we went back and we looked, and there was so many explosive plays, and I think that the metric that you judge it is, I think, a pass play, anything over 16, and he runs over 12, I believe. I could be wrong, but they had so many of them. It just, that took the nature of the whole meeting. Obviously you want to go in and correct the explosive plays, and this particular meeting was a rather long due to the fact that they had many explosive plays, and against with this defense, man, we felt like we had a good matchup going into the game, and obviously they was making big plays left and right, man. Run game, pass game, they pretty much controlled the wheel, and obviously that's nothing that you want to put on tape. And when you have those type of games, you're eager to get back out there, man, and that's why the weeks are short, and you get another opportunity the following week to go out there and play your brand of football.
You said the meeting was longer than usual. How long does it usually go, and how long did it
go? Well, no, not specifically like a timetable, but obviously you want to correct the mistakes, and obviously those are considered X plays, and you want to learn from those things. So, typically a good day is you can hold a team under 6 or 7. You've pretty much did your job. Obviously those guys get paid just like we do, but I believe they had north of 13, 14, 15 X plays, which is double of what you want to allow. So obviously the corrective tape was a little longer than you would like to, obviously. But with that being said, you learn from that, man, and you go from there. That's why we are here, man. We in these situations. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have that. You got to have that mindset to say, hey, man, new week, flush it out. Obviously that was a tough one. I think this week was tougher than the Rams week, in my opinion. It just was more so the us as a defense playing our brand of football. Rams week, I think, was more just like brain farce of things that guys probably wouldn't normally do that we did. This was just more of us going out there, putting it on tape, running to the ball, guys doing uncharacteristic things from just a technique standpoint. And so, those, like I say, those are things that you can control. You can control your effort, and you can control the things that we can control from that game.
You guys do that on like the second play. Khalil's not there. How do you make up for that and still play the brand of football that you want to play?
Certain people is irreplaceable. Obviously, when you lose guys like Khalil, I think any defense would suffer if you lose a guy like 5'2". You lose another playmaker in Eddie. That's tough. Obviously, we got guys on the back end who could come in and play. But you losing two of your better players on defense. That's gonna hurt anybody. No excuse. Obviously, it's next man up mentality. Everybody's on this roster can play good quality football, but you losing those type of things, man. When you think about Mac, he brings so much to the game. Not even just from what he physically can do, for just the aura of his presence being out there. So you lose that. Obviously, that's tough. tough, but like I said, man, we got guys that can step up and make plays. Trev has shown that he's capable of being able to go out there and get to the quarterback. Obviously, Rob is Rob. He's been doing it for a long time. But like I say, no excuses. But, man, you have guys like that go down. You already missing Mac and Eddie get hurt the second play of the game. I mean, that's tough. That's tough to overcome. But at the end of the day, it wasn't nothing that we was outmatched because of those guys was injured. It's just that they executed at their game plan better than we executed at our game plan.
And you notice what happened on the deep ball towards the end of the first half, and they were going down, no timeouts. I think he got behind Kendall and set up a field goal late in the half.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a standard quarters post route that you attack when you're dealing with quarter half defenses. They knew they set it up perfectly where they wanted to throw the big post to the field. So what they did is they put the passing strength to the left side. Obviously, put us in half away from the target in which they want to go. They knew Debo Samuel was going to be on the big post. You grab that safety right there, obviously. You run a dig in front of him, got it by his eyes, safety drive on the dig. You got the big post behind him, so you just pray that the backside safety can't get to this front side post. I know it's probably confusing when y'all watch it. Y'all get it, all right. But, yeah, so you banking on that this backside safety, who's a half-field safety, can't get to this big side post. And they banked on it and they guessed right. Obviously, T's gonna be a good football player, man. There's things that any of our safeties can make that play. Obviously, it was like his third, fourth play in the game, and they came in and they executed a good route versus the coverage in which they wanted. We gave them the coverage in which they wanted. But with all that being said, Kendall was right there, and I would take if I'm a betting man, I would say that Kendall, if he get a redo on that play, man, he was right there, stride for stride. It just was a play that 19 made. Kendall was in great position. You couldn't ask him to do nothing more, man, just separate the guy from the ball. So, with that being said, we still was right there where we needed to do. Go back to what we said. We just didn't make the plays that we were supposed to make, and they made the plays that they were supposed to.
Johnny, you've talked before about sort of the electricity that Justin can bring. As a defensive player, seeing some of the life he brought into the game and the building the other day, what are your impressions about his continued growth and just the impact that has?
I think it's huge. I think anytime you see, first of all, he's a dynamic player. Obviously, whether he's throwing the ball, can make every throw. And obviously his legs. I think that you can't really put him in a box, man, because he can be a running quarterback or he can dice you up with his arm, and that's the beautiful part about having a quarterback like that. Defenses can never get comfortable. I know those drives when the quarterback extended plays, that's demoralizing as a defense, man. You give up those 3rd and 7s to a quarterback who can run the ball, so it changed the way that you have to defend people, and it's exciting to watch from the sideline. You see his growth each week. He's just comfortable. He's just getting more and more comfortable. You can see it on the practice field. You could just see it, man. And obviously, last week, he put us in position to win that football game. Obviously, he carried the load. The offense did what they needed to do, and specifically him, man. You got to tip your hat off to him. He carried the load, and he did what he was supposed to do. I wouldn't ask him to do nothing more than what he did, and obviously we got to bring that home for him. But obviously, I think everybody's pleased with what they've seen from him, man. Especially this early in his career. You look back 5 years from now, man. No telling what the ceiling is for him, man. And Chicago in good hands with one quarterback.
What are the main problems the Steelers' offense presents?
It affects your pass rush because Ben Roethlisberger get the ball out really quick. He don't want to get hit. He took a lot of hits in his days, man. He not the same old Ben Roethlisberger that's shedding guys off like he used to. That used to be crazy, man. I used to be in Cleveland seeing that. 3 guys had to take the guy down. So obviously he don't want to get hit anymore, and it shows. And obviously their plays are designed for him to get the ball out quick. So with that, those D-line know that, hey, man, if they can't get to the quarterback, get their hands up, because obviously tips and overthrows, this is saying you got to get those. Get the hands up, man. They tip some balls, man. That's obviously an opportunity for us on the back end. But, he taking shots when needed, not many vertical passes that he's willing to take, but he's that quarterback that's going to take what you give him. And that's always dangerous because anytime you're dealing with a quarterback, not many quarterbacks will want to take 5-yard checkdowns all the way down the field. It's a few select quarterbacks, and most of those guys are Hall of Fame. The Drew Brees, the Tom Brady, the Aaron Rodgers. You give him 5 there, take 5. And he fall in that category. So obviously you got to play tighter. This going to be a game plan where we're going to have to play with our eyes, vision break, man, be a little tighter in coverage, and, give those guys time to hunt in the front end. But those guys know that the ball come out quick enough, man, that if you can't get there, get your hands up, because obviously those are opportunities for the back 7 to be able to affect the game that way.
It's couple of years, he's developed a trust in Deontay Johnson. What do you see in that young receiver that leaves an impression on you?
He's good football player, man. He's savvy in his routes. He's smooth. Yeah, I know he had a couple of cases of the dropsies, man, but he's been catching the ball efficiently, and his routes, he can run every route, man, efficiently. He can run. He a vertical threat. He can stretch the top. So obviously, our cornerbacks, I have our hands full, and I had the utmost confidence in what 33 and 22 can do on the back end, and 20 in the slot. But you know, you got to tip your hat off to him, and I've seen his game grow compared from last year to this year. He's going into a good football player, and I see why Ben trusts him because you know his routes are designed to. I mean, sometimes, man, some of the routes he run is just pretty crazy, and obviously, Ben Roethlisberger know where to find him. Obviously, losing 19 hurt, so obviously somebody had to step up. I think 18 is doing that right now, and in my opinion, I think he's their best receiver, and rightfully so. So he's gonna get his targets, man. We just got to win our one-on-one matchups when we get a chance with him.